Imagine telling a hunter from 50,000 years ago that every evening after work, you voluntarily pick up heavy rocks, then put them back down again. He wouldn't think you were disciplined. He'd think you were insane. Because for almost all of human history, nobody exercised. Not because they were lazy, because exercise didn't exist. And yet, those same humans could walk for days, outrun prey, climb cliffs, carry enormous loads, and survive in a world far more demanding than ours. So what did they know about movement that we've forgotten? The answer changes almost everything we believe about fitness. Because the strongest humans who ever lived didn't have gyms. They didn't count steps. They didn't track calories. They didn't wake up at 5 in the morning for a workout. And somehow, their bodies became exactly what they needed them to be. To understand why, we have to forget almost everything the modern world has taught us about exercise. Let's start with a simple question. What is exercise? Today, the answer seems obvious. Running on a treadmill, lifting weights, doing push-ups, riding a stationary bike that goes absolutely nowhere. But here's the strange part. For almost 300,000 years of human history, none of those activities existed. Not because nobody had thought of them, because they would have made no sense. Imagine watching someone repeatedly lift the same heavy rock for an hour, then place it back exactly where they found it. You'd probably assume they had lost their mind. Ancient humans didn't move to burn calories. They moved because movement solved problems. If you wanted food, you walked. If you wanted water, you carried it home. If danger appeared, you ran. If fruit grew high in a tree, you climbed. Every movement had a purpose. And purpose changes everything. In fact, your body doesn't actually understand exercise. It understands problems. That's why climbing a mountain feels completely different from climbing a stairmaster. One gets you somewhere. The other keeps you exactly where you started. Psychologists call this intrinsic motivation. Humans naturally enjoy activities that produce meaningful outcomes. The reward isn't just the movement, it's solving the problem, which raises a much bigger question. If ancient humans never exercised, why were they so fit? Surely hunting every now and then couldn't explain bodies capable of surviving ice ages. The answer begins with one word: efficiency. For almost all of human history, calories were incredibly valuable. Every berry you gathered, every animal you hunted, every root you dug from the ground represented energy that had taken work to obtain. Spending calories without getting something in return wasn't impressive. It was dangerous. Imagine burning 500 calories running in circles. That's enough energy to walk several miles searching for food, enough to gather firewood for the night, enough to carry water back to camp. Natural selection rewarded humans who solved problems while using the least amount of energy possible. Scientists call this the constrained energy expenditure model. Research by evolutionary anthropologist Herman Pontzer suggests the human body evolved to carefully manage how it spends energy. When you do more in one area, your body often compensates somewhere else. It's surprisingly economical. In other words, your ancestors weren't lazy. They were incredibly efficient. But here's where the story takes an unexpected turn. If ancient humans avoided wasting energy, why do so many modern hunter-gatherers spend hours walking every day? That sounds like exercise. Except it isn't. Researchers studying the Hadza people of Tanzania found something surprising. The average day isn't filled with nonstop activity. There are long periods of sitting, talking, laughing, making tools, looking after children, sometimes doing almost nothing at all. Then suddenly, someone notices fresh tracks, or ripe berries, or smoke rising in the distance. Everyone gets up. They walk several miles, carry heavy loads, dig, climb, throw, lift, balance, squat, and when the job is finished, they stop. Nobody says, "Before dinner, let's jog another 5 kilometers just to close our activity rings." Because movement was never separated from life. Life was the workout. Modern fitness often asks us to create artificial reasons to move. Ancient humans never needed them. But this creates an even bigger mystery. If they rested so often, how did they become stronger than most people today without ever training? The answer lies in something your body still remembers, even if your lifestyle has forgotten it. Your muscles aren't the only thing evolution was building. It was building your instincts. One of the oldest instincts your body has is something scientists call the law of least effort. Give people two paths to the same destination, one steep, one easy. Almost everyone chooses the easier route. That isn't weakness. It's millions of years of evolution protecting your energy for the moment you truly need it. The strange thing is, that instinct is still running inside you, which is why elevators beat stairs, remote controls beat getting up, food delivery beats walking to the store. Your brain isn't broken. It's doing exactly what it evolved to do. The problem is that the world changed much faster than evolution could. For hundreds of thousands of years, saving energy made tomorrow more likely. Today, saving energy often means barely moving at all. The instinct stayed. The environment didn't. Evolutionary biologists call this an evolutionary mismatch. The same instincts that once helped us survive now collide with a world full of chairs, cars, escalators, and screens. And perhaps no invention demonstrates this better than the chair. Think about how often you sit, working, eating, driving, watching TV, scrolling your phone. Ancient humans certainly rested, but they rarely rested like this. Researchers studying hunter-gatherers have found they frequently squat, kneel, sit on the ground, stand back up, walk a little, then rest again. Their bodies rarely stay frozen in one position for hours. Movement constantly interrupts stillness. Today, stillness interrupts movement. That tiny reversal may explain why simply going to the gym for an hour doesn't completely erase sitting all day, because your body evolved to move frequently, not necessarily intensely. This is why walking has become one of the most recommended forms of exercise. Ironically, it isn't really exercise. It's the movement your body expected all along. The average hunter-gatherer likely walked thousands of steps every day without ever counting a single one, not because someone told them to, because life demanded it. The same was true for carrying children, water, firewood, food, tools. Everything had to be moved by human hands. Those loads constantly changed, sometimes light, sometimes incredibly heavy. Unlike a dumbbell, life never weighed exactly the same twice. Every day forced the body to solve slightly different problems. And that's exactly what human muscles evolved for: adaptation, not repetition. The modern gym tries to recreate those challenges inside a controlled room. There's nothing wrong with that. In many ways, it's one of the best solutions we've invented for lives that no longer require natural movement. But it's important to remember what it's replacing. Exercise isn't ancient. It's compensation, a substitute for movements that disappeared from daily life. Which brings us back to the hunter standing in front of that heavy rock. He wouldn't laugh because lifting was pointless. He lifted heavy things all the time. Dead trees, animal carcasses, stone tools, children. What he wouldn't understand is lifting something, just to put it back down. Because to him, movement without purpose was wasted energy. To us, purposeful movement has become so rare that we created an entirely new activity just to replace it. Maybe that's why so many people struggle to stay consistent. Perhaps your brain isn't resisting movement. Perhaps it's searching for meaning. For almost all of human history, strength wasn't built inside a gym. It was built while solving the ordinary problems of everyday life. We didn't evolve to exercise. We evolved to move. And maybe the goal isn't to make life look more like the gym. Maybe it's to make life itself worth moving through again. Thank you for watching Vinta.